Hey Trekkies! Today we're talking about one of the most intriguing and undeniably sexy characters in all of Star Trek. Tpol from Star Trek Enterprise. She's got the logic, the brains, and yeah, let's be real, she's pretty much the whole package. But what really sets Tpol apart isn't just her looks. It's the emotional complexity and growth she undergoes over the series. So let's break down why. She's not only the sexiest character in Star Trek, but one of the most compelling as well. When Tpol first steps onto the Enterprise, she's all about that Vulcan chill, cold, distant, and focused on keeping everyone on the straight and narrow. But here's the thing, beneath that controlled exterior, there's a fire that slowly starts to burn. She's sent by the Vulcan High Command to keep an eye on the human crew. But the more she interacts with them, the more we see that she's not quite as emotionless as she seems. The slow unraveling of her stoic facade is one of the best character arcs in the series. Tpol's emotional journey isn't just about opening up to her fellow crew members. It's about her own battle with Vulcan logic versus human emotion. And trust me, those sparks fly, especially when it comes to Trip Tucker. Their slow burn relationship is filled with tension that's just as much intellectual as it is emotional. The moments when they share a glance or almost touch, it's a slow progression, but as her character grows, we see Tpol let down her guard in some powerful ways. Okay, now let's talk about one of Tpol's most badass moments. In a mirror, darkly. The Mirror Universe episodes in Star Trek are always a treat, but Tpol in this twisted version of reality is just fire. In the Mirror Universe, she's a ruthless, power-hungry version of herself, no longer the reserved Vulcan we know. She's the kind of character who'll stop at nothing to get ahead, showing off an entirely different side of Tpol, one that's confident, sharp, and incredibly commanding. The scene where she's locked in a power struggle with Captain Archer, it's intense. It's the kind of scene where you realize Tpol is not just sexy in the usual ways. She's sexy because she's strong, calculating, and completely in control. This episode not only shows how much range Blaylock brings to the character, but also demonstrates just how dangerous Tpol could be if she ever let go of her Vulcan restraint. She's sexy, not just because of her looks, but because of her strength, ambition, and the sheer presence she brings to every scene. Watching her go full Mirror Universe mode is a reminder that she's more than just a pretty face in a jumpsuit. She's a force to be reckoned with. What makes Tpol so captivating is the emotional complexity she deals with. In addition to the Mirror Universe, her journey is filled with moments that show her vulnerability. There's a whole subplot about her addiction to a Vulcan substance, and watching her struggle with that personal crisis shows a side of Tpol we don't often see. She's not just the logical, I don't feel Vulcan anymore. She's someone who's starting to feel, and that's both painful and fascinating to watch. Her emotional growth becomes especially clear when she starts confronting her feelings for Trip. Their relationship doesn't follow the usual will they or won't they path. It's messier, more complicated, and that's what makes it so compelling. Tpol, trying to balance her Vulcan training with these deep feelings for Trip, makes for some of the most emotional and yes, sexy moments on the show. It's not just about physical attraction. It's about how she allows herself to open up, little by little. By the end of Enterprise, Tpol isn't just the sexy Vulcan anymore. She's a deeply developed character who's gone through a massive personal transformation. She's learned to embrace vulnerability, accept her emotions, and connect with her crew in ways that she never imagined. And in the process, she redefined what it means to be a Vulcan, showing us that logic and emotion can coexist in a powerful, nuanced way. Tpol's legacy is one of strength, emotional complexity, and a hell of a lot of tension. Whether she's battling her own demons, navigating a power struggle in the mirror universe, or dealing with her feelings for Trip, she's a character who always keeps us on our toes. She's sexy, she's smart, and, most importantly, she's one of the best characters in Star Trek.